Hi, I am David from Puppet Mongers, and I'm going to show you today a very simple type of puppet you can make with materials you might well have lying around at home. And it's a lot of fun. So we start with a piece of construction paper. You're also going to need crayons or markers, and a pair of scissors, and either these wonderful little brass fasteners or some string and some sort of stick. It could be a straw, could be popsicle sticks. My favorite is barbecue sticks. Anyway, you start off by drawing a picture of what it is you're going to make. So I'm going to make a horse. And a tail and a mane. There we go. Make the eyes a bit bigger. Give it a nice smile. And you can do decoration, you can color in whatever. Oh look, this one's going to look like that. That's a quicker coloring job, isn't it? And then you're going to cut it out. Now, here's something about cutting out. If you try cutting out all the details as you go, it becomes complicated. So what's much better is to go around, come back to details. In fact, cutting paper off is great, less stuff to get in your way. And then, for instance, the ears, you just come back in and you do that, and there they are. And for that bit here, yeah, just do that, right? And for the legs, you just do ta-da, and so on. So that's the beginning of it, and then I have one here that I drew a little earlier, and what it needs is control sticks. And that's what these are for. I'm going to use a straw, and I'm going to put it so it goes up one of the legs, so it's sort of hidden from the stage side. Use a bit of masking tape. It has to be stuck down quite firmly. So I'm going to go one there and one there. It doesn't really need to stick to the leg. So there's a little horse. And of course you can color in the other side so it can go the other way. Another thing you can do with them is when you draw it on that piece of paper, let's put a piece of paper here, you make sure the head is separate and you've got a big lump to attach so it can overlap, and we can put a pin there and make it move. And that's when these little guys come in really handy. You push it through and you push it through. If you try doing through two levels at once, I find it's very hard. It's easier to do one at a time. You can, of course, use the point of your scissors to make a little hole. And then you flatten that out. And one trick to make it move well is you spin it like a little clock. And that makes the hole circular. Now, this time, it's going to need two sticks. One to hold up the body, and one to make the head move. The body one goes like you did before. A couple of sticks, a couple of tapes. There we go, that holds up the body. Now, for the head, here's the thing. If I did this and just taped it on, what happens is, you see how if the head goes up, my hand has to come all the way up here, like that, and if I go down, it's all the way back there. Much better would be to have a joint here that can turn. And here's the simple way. You put your tape across, stick it to itself. It's a little flag. Make sure there's no sticky bits left. And that is going to get a pin to the head or the neck. Somewhere up there. I'm going to put it about there, push it through. Sometimes it's hard to get through here, so I'm going to put that on the table. Don't push it through your hand. And then open that pin up. Give it a turn. Yeah. So now I can keep my stick straight up and down, and the head moves up and down because it's moving on that thing. So that's a very simple four-leggedy beastie. I'm now going to show you how to make a human with a moving arm. So, who shall I make? Maybe a guy in a top hat. I always like guys in top hats. I don't know why. This is the guy with the big moustaches. Give him a bow tie. I could, because I'm drawing quickly, I'm just using one color. Of course, you can do all sorts of stuff, colorings and details and things. And here's his legs. I'm going to put them both together, and his feet. Okay. Now, I'm only going to do one arm at the moment, and the other arm is going to be separate and attached with a pin so it can move. So, if you were to draw it curved, it would never be able to straighten out. So the trick is to draw it straight. How long would that arm be? It goes from his shoulder down to about there. So that's about how long, and some fingers on the end. It's going to pin here to there when it's cut out. Now there's something else I've drawn here that's not going to be easy, and that is that moustache is way too thin. So in fact I could either just cut it off, or I would have to thicken it up so that when it's cut it doesn't just fall apart. And of course he gets all coloured in. He's going to have stripy pants and stuff, whatever. And then you cut him out. Same rules as before, that you go around the outer edge, leaving the marker edge, the crayon, whatever edge, and go back in to cut out details. And of course, when I get to there, I will poke my scissors through very carefully and cut that out. Comme ça. So, and then this arm gets cut out. I'll do that now, and just to show you how it goes. You can cut his fingernails when you've got that out. There we go. And that is going to pin on there to move. And if you want an elbow, you just fold it. It's paper. I made one already cut out. And she has her arm. I'm going to show you how to do it if you have string rather than the little pins. You need a bit of string. Oh, these scissors don't like that string. And you need to poke it through. So here's a trick. A little bit of tape, very little bit of tape, and it's almost like making a sewing needle by rolling it up into a little pointy bit. It's sort of like that little hard piece on the edge of the end of shoelaces. Helps you thread it through. So I make a little hole. Don't go through your hand. Make a little hole. And I'm going to put it through there. That tape really makes it easy. But you don't want it falling off, so I'm going to make a knot. I probably have to make quite a fat knot down here, or a bunch of knots on top of each other so that it doesn't fall through the hole. There we go. That's a nice knot. I'm going to try another pair of scissors. Let's see if these are any better. Ah, yes. So now that on there, and it holds, and then it goes through this hole. So you see why I like the little brass pins. They're real quick and easy. And then that goes there, and I tie a knot or two here. Actually, on the back of the whole thing, you could just cheat in a way. You could just do this. Ta-da, cut off the extra. So now she has a moving arm, and I can bend the elbow, and you see I colored in the back of the arm because I find that useful. The sticks on the body would go thus. Let's see, I'm going to use these guys this time. If you've got these barbecue sticks, that is dangerous. It's designed to go through meat, and that's what you're made of. So you cut that off. The most important stick is the one that holds the whole thing up, and it has to go up into the head. So my way of doing that would be like that. Make sure it's firmly attached. Looks like I missed a bit there. Okay, and go down here. Actually, I'm going to stop around there because you can bend the waist. Okay, so now she's got that, and she needs a stick on that hand. And I'm going to use the other of these, remembering to cut the spike off. And once again, if I was just to tape it on, I would have that problem with it moving the arm thus. And what I need is a moving joint. So, a little bit of tape goes across the end like a T. Make it into a flag. Trim it square if you need to. And then, if I'm using string again, I might as well be consistent. I'm going to make a hole at about the wrist and a hole in the tape. And then, where's my string? I'm going to make that little tapey needle again. Just a little bit of tape, doesn't need very much. In fact, that's probably more than I need. And it's going to make it into a little needle. A little hard bit. Here we go. It goes through. Oh, I didn't tie a knot that end yet, did I? Let's get that done. A few knots all on top of each other is the best way to make it bulky. I think that'll be good. Ah, not enough. Okay, more knots. A dab of hot glue would do it if you've got a hot glue gun. My hole's too big. Okay, I could use the spike on one of these to make a smaller hole, perhaps somewhere not quite the same spot. This is giving me grief, isn't it? There we go. Oh, that knot is a bit small. We can do it again. So this is the sort of thing you've just got to fiddle around with until it's just right. Okay, and then that thing goes through there. Actually, another way, instead of doing that, here is another trick. You could cut the spike off the end and a little bit of tape. Just tape the string to the end of the stick and roll it up. Get rid of the extra. What you need, you see, is a joint where the stick can move. So now she can stand here, blah, blah. She can wave, hello. She can have a scratch. And she could, let's see, could she visit with her horse? Or she could ride on a horse. She's a bit big for that horse though, isn't she? Well, the other thing I said was that I only taped her to there, and that's because then I can actually fold her knees the other way so she can stand and she can sit down or sit on the ground. Just gives you a little bit more of an option of what she can do. So there you go. Make your own, have fun. Bye-bye. Hit the red button.